So let's set the scene. It's Saturday, January 31st, 2026.
A very specific date.
It is. And if you're listening to this in the U.S., your automotive world is, well, it's all about trade wars, right? Tariffs.
And all these headlines about restructuring from the big legacy automakers.
But if you just look north, right across the border into Canada, it's a completely different story playing out on dealership lots.
It really is. It's like a split-screen reality. The U.S. market is basically walled off.
Yeah.
But Canada has stayed pretty open. And because of that, it's become the first look at a vehicle one reviewer is calling a legitimate extinction event.
That is a heavy phrase. I mean, we're not just saying market disruptor or strong competitor.
Now, this is different.
We're talking about an extinction event. So for this deep dive, we're looking at a review from Wheel Factor on the Voya Taishan 9L. It's a luxury SUV from China.
And you can walk into a showroom in, say, Vancouver or Toronto and just buy one today.
And the main argument Wheel Factor is making isn't just that it's a good car.
No, not at all. The argument is that this vehicle shows a level of manufacturing, of vertical integration, that Western automakers, they just can't physically match right now.
Right. The source material actually calls it a cheat code. And honestly, when you look at the specs, it feels like someone just turned on God mode in a video game.
It really does.
So our mission today is to, strip away some of the hype, and there's a lot of it, and figure out the engineering, the economics behind that claim. Why does this source think this one machine is going to steamroll the competition?
It's a good question. Because when you first see the feature list, your first instinct is that it can't be real. It sounds like vaporware.
Exactly. I mean, just to give you a sense of what we're talking about, this is a car that literally draws crosswalks on the road with its headlights.
Wow.
It wakes you up with a peppermint scent if you start to fall asleep, and it has a center console that can keep ice cream frozen.
Actually frozen, not just cool.
Actually frozen, and all for a price that just shouldn't be possible.
It sounds like a concept car, one that's never meant to be built.
But it is built. It's on the road. So let's start under the hood, the powertrain. The spec sheet calls it a plug-in hybrid, a PHEV.
Right.
And usually when I hear PHEV, I think compromise. A gas car with a tiny battery that gives you maybe 30 miles of electric range.
That's the model we've all been trained to accept, yeah. The gas engine does the real work, and the battery is just for, running errands around the neighborhood. The Taishan 9L completely flips that on its head. It's built around a massive 65 kilowatt-hour battery.
65. I want to pause on that because that sounds huge. For context, isn't that about the size of the battery in a base model Tesla Model 3?
It is, yeah. A standard range Model 3 or a Nissan Leaf has a battery around that size.
So this is basically a full EV that just happens to have its own power plant on board.
That's the perfect way to describe it. You get over 230 miles on just electricity.
230 miles. So for 99% of people, that's your daily commute, your grocery run, all of it. You'd never even use the gas engine.
Exactly. You're just driving an EV. But then when you need to go further, like on a road trip, you've got a 1.5-liter turbo generator under the hood.
Which brings the total range to what? Almost 900 miles?
900 miles.
That's New York to Chicago with enough left over to get lost and find your way back. Range anxiety is just gone.
It's destroyed. But the review points out something even more important, and that's the charging tech.
Okay.
Because most PHEVs, they charge really slowly. This one has an 800-volt architecture. We hear that term with high-end EVs like the Porsche Taycan, but why does it matter here?
Yeah, break that down for me. What does 800 volts actually mean for a driver?
So think of it like water pressure. Most EVs use 400 volts. It's like a garden hose.
Yeah.
It works, but there's a limit to how fast you can fill the bucket.
Okay.
By doubling that pressure to 800 volts, you're using a fire hose. You can push way more energy into the battery much faster without overheating everything.
A fire hose versus a garden hose. I get it.
So it allows this huge battery to go from 20% to 80% in about 12 minutes.
12 minutes. So the whole charging takes too long argument just evaporates.
It's dead. You plug in, grab a coffee, come back, and you've added 200 miles of range.
See, that's what the source means by cheat code. You get the EV lifestyle day-to-day, the gas security for long trips, and the charging speed of a supercar.
Precisely. And then there's the physics of how it actually moves.
Right. I was looking at the size of this thing. It's a 3-ton family SUV. It's a brick.
A very large brick.
And yet it hits 60 miles per hour in about 4 seconds.
That's faster than a Ford Mustang GT.
That just feels wrong. Like it violates some law of physics.
It's almost violent, I'd imagine. Nearly 660 horsepower from the dual electric motors. But the cheat code part is really how it handles that power.
You'd expect it to lean and wobble in a corner, right? Like a boat?
Yeah, you'd feel all that weight shifting around. But the source says it feels incredibly stiff, stiffer than some supercars. And they chalk that up to something called gigacasting.
I've heard Tesla talk about that. What does it mean here?
So traditionally, a car's frame is made from hundreds of little stamped metal pieces that are all welded together by robots.
Okay.
It's complicated, and every single weld is a potential weak point. Gigacasting. It's a total game changer. They use a machine the size of a small building to inject molten aluminum into a mold.
And it makes the whole front or rear of the car.
As one single solid piece.
So instead of a Lego set, it's one solid block.
Exactly. It makes the whole structure incredibly rigid, so when you stomp on the accelerator, the body doesn't twist or flex. It just grips and goes.
And I'm guessing that's cheaper to produce, too.
Massively cheaper. Once you've paid for the giant machine, it eliminates hundreds of robots, hours of assembly. It's a manufacturing leap that legacy auto is really struggling with.
Okay, so it's built like a bank vault and moves like a rocket ship. But the reviewer called it a ninja in a tuxedo, and I want to talk about the exterior. This thing is 17 feet long.
It's a land yacht.
It's got 22-inch wheels, but the feature that really got me wasn't the size, it was the lights.
The high-definition projectors.
Yeah, we're not just talking about automatic high beams. The reviewer said this car actually communicates with people. What does that mean?
The headlights are basically 4K movie projectors. So if you stop for a pedestrian at night, and the crosswalk paint on the road is all faded, the car can project a bright white zebra crossing pattern right onto the asphalt to show them it's safe to cross.
That's wild. It's literally creating temporary infrastructure.
It is. The source called it the biggest flex in automotive lighting. But the real story isn't just what the car projects, it's what it sees.
And this is where we get into the self-driving tech. In the US, the whole debate is, can we do this with just cameras, the Tesla approach?
Right, a very different philosophy.
This car has 4 LiDAR units.
4. So a camera sees in 2D, like your eye. It can be tricked by shadows or bright sun or fog.
Oh, okay.
LiDAR is different. It stands for light detection and ranging. It shoots out millions of laser pulses every second and measures the reflections. It builds a perfect 3D map of the world around it.
It's like sonar, but with light.
Exactly. And most Western automakers, if they use LiDAR at all, maybe they put 1 unit on a $100,000 car because it's so expensive.
And this has 4, plus all the cameras and radar.
It's running Huawei's ADS 4.0 system. The reviewer said it's like it's mapping the matrix in real time.
A brute force approach to safety.
Yes. They aren't trying to write clever code to guess if that's a shadow or a pothole. They're just using lasers to know for sure.
And this brings up that recurring theme, right? How can they afford this? How can they afford 800-volt charging and 4 LiDARs? And we haven't even opened the door.
The interior. The reviewer called it an IMAX theater.
And it basically is. The whole dashboard, from the driver's side all the way to the passenger door, is just a wall of screens under one piece of glass.
Powered by a Snapdragon 8295 chip.
Which is what?
That's a high-end gaming computer processor, basically.
The reviewer said there was 0 lag. You could swipe a movie from the center screen over to the passenger screen just instantly. But the feature that sounded the most sci-fi was the augmented reality head-up display, the AR HUD.
Right. Most HUDs just show your speed on the windshield.
Yeah.
This projects a 75-inch virtual screen onto the road ahead of you. So let's say you're coming up to a confusing highway exit. Instead of glancing down at a map, you just look through the windshield, and the car paints these huge blue glowing arrows directly on the pavement of the lane you need to be in.
So it looks like the arrows are physically on the road.
Yes. It's like a video game UI for real life. You literally can't miss your turn.
The source also went on and on about the materials. They called it offensive luxury.
They were offended because they couldn't find where the costs were cut.
Right.
Usually in any car, no matter how expensive, you can reach down and find some cheap, scratchy plastic somewhere. It's where the accountants win.
But not in this one.
They look everywhere. They found microfiber suede on the ceiling, real open pore walnut, actual aluminum, crystal switches.
The gear selector looks like a piece of jewelry.
It does. It's complete overkill.
And then there are the knuckles.
The massage seats.
Yeah, I've had massage seats before. It's usually just air blinders, sort of. Gently pushing on you.
This system uses a 10-point mechanism with actual mechanical nodes, hard knuckles, that dig right into your back muscles. The reviewer said they audibly groaned when they first turned it on.
It's trying to be a real deep tissue massage.
Exactly.
But my favorite feature, and I'll admit this is where I'm a simple man, is the fridge.
A center console refrigerator. And we need to be clear, this is not just a cooler that uses the car's AC.
No?
It has its own dedicated compressor. Just like your fridge at home, it goes all the way down to -6 degrees Celsius.
So picture this. You're stuck in traffic on a hot day. Everyone around you is miserable.
And you just reach into your center console and pull out a perfectly frozen Klondike bar.
While the person in the $80,000 truck next to you is drinking warm Gatorade.
It's the ultimate power move. And it also heats up to 50 Celsius to keep your takeout warm.
It just highlights this total shift in philosophy that the source was talking about. Western cars are designed as machines for driving. This seems designed as a living room on wheels.
A third space, yeah.
Huh.
And that's even clearer when you get in the back. It's a 6-seater with these big captain's chairs.
And they have that zero gravity mode. What does that even mean?
It's a specific position based on NASA research. You push a button and the seat reclines while the leg rest comes up, positioning your knees to be level with your heart.
Why is that the ideal position?
It minimizes the strain of gravity on your body. It's the position astronauts are in during launch to handle the G-forces. It's maximum relaxation.
So you're in a launch position getting a knuckle massage and watching what?
A 15.6-inch OLED screen that folds down from the ceiling.
Oh, of course there is.
And you can use gesture controls. You wave your hand to pause or play like a Jedi, so you don't even have to sit up.
And the sound.
28-speaker Dolby Atmos system. Speakers in the headrest, so the sound is right there. The reviewer said you feel the bass in your bones.
And because of all the acoustic glass, you're in a perfect soundproof bubble.
It sounds incredible.
Yeah.
But there's maybe a slightly dystopian side to all this comfort.
The car is watching you.
The car is watching you closely. Cameras track your eye movement, your head position. There are even sensors that monitor your heart rate.
Why on earth does my car need to know my heart rate?
To save your life. The system is terrified of you falling asleep, which is a real risk with those seats. If it thinks you're dozing off, it gets aggressive.
What does it do?
It yanks the seatbelt tight. It blasts a jet of cold air in your face from the vents. And, this is the weirdest part, it sprays a peppermint scent into the cabin.
An aromatherapy slap in the face.
That's it, exactly. It's designed to shock all your senses at once to wake you up.
I guess I'd rather smell peppermint than hit a guardrail. Okay, one last feature before the price. The outlet in the trunk.
The 2.2 kilowatt standard household plug.
So I can plug in a blender, a hairdryer.
All of that. But the real use case, the source pointed out, is a power outage. You could run an extension cord from your car into your house and power your refrigerator and your TV for days.
So it's a backup generator, a luxury spa, and a sports car all rolled into one.
Pretty much.
Okay. We've built this thing up. It sounds like a Rolls-Royce blended with a spaceship. A BMW X7 with these features would be, what, $120,000? Maybe more?
Easily.
What is the sticker price on this Voya Taishan 9L?
Based on the current Canadian pricing and exchange rates, it starts at around $55,000 US.
55,000.
That is the price of a well-equipped Honda Pilot. It is less than a base Chevy Tahoe with cloth seats.
And that is the extinction event.
That's the asteroid hitting the planet.
How is that possible? I mean, are they just losing a fortune on every single one to gain market share?
They might be, a little, but the source says the real answer is vertical integration. This is the kick.
Explain that.
A Western car company. They buy their batteries from one supplier, their screens from another, their computer chips from a third. And every single one of those suppliers takes their own profit cut.
Okay.
Voya's parent company is part of an ecosystem where they control the lithium mines. They make their own batteries. They design their own chips. They own the shipping company.
So there's no middleman.
They cut out 5 layers of middlemen. They can put $150,000 worth of technology into a car and sell it for $55,000 because they control the entire chain, from the raw materials in the ground all the way to the dealership.
The reviewer used the word gaslighting.
It feels like gaslighting because it makes you question the prices we've been paying for years. It makes you ask, why am I paying $90,000 for a car with less tech and cheaper materials just for a German badge?
The quote that really stuck with me was, if this car was sold in the U.S. without tariffs, every other luxury SUV maker would file for bankruptcy by Tuesday.
It's a bit of an exaggeration, but only a bit. If you take away brand loyalty, take away the politics, and just look at the machine itself, legacy automakers aren't just behind. They're playing a completely different sport.
So this isn't just a car review, it's a wake-up call.
It shows that the innovation curve in China's auto industry has gone vertical. We're way past talking about cheap knockoffs. This is market-leading tech at mass market prices.
Which brings us to I guess, the $55,000 question that the reviewer ends with. And I want you listening right now to really think about this.
If you could walk out your door and buy one today, ignore the politics, ignore brand history, would you trade? Would you trade your Ford Explorer or your Tesla Model Y or your BMW for this?
Would you trade the logo on the grill for the frozen Klondike bar, the LiDAR safety, and a 900-mile range?
It forces you to ask what you actually value. Is it the badge on the hood, or is it the experience you have sitting in the seat?
It's a much harder question to answer than you'd think. And just to prove this is only getting weirder, the source teased their next review.
Boy.
Next week, they're testing a Chinese electric sedan that supposedly swims.
It swims like a boat.
Like a boat. They claim it can float for 30 minutes to survive a flood.
Well, I guess that's one way to beat traffic.
The future is moving very, very fast. We'll be watching. Thanks for diving in with us.
See you next time.